Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. We're on to another episode of Two Men No Hope. As always, I'm your host, Daniel Saying. With me, as always, as well, is Jamie Montman. How you doing, man?
Late night recording when you're in your 30s at 8:30 is fucking maxing you out.
I realised today that I'm at that point right now where I can call people like kid. Like I'm old enough to be like call most people a kid.
Yeah, if you were like in like a 1950s fucking western or something.
And I've got to the point as well where everyone, when they go to me, how old are you? And I'm like 37, they say, how many kids have you got? I'm like, why would I have kids?
What, that's their secondary question?
That's what, yeah. Like when I'm this age, everyone's like, are you either married or do you have kids?
That's fucking presumptuous, isn't it? What have you got issues about not having kids?
Must have one of them faces. But that, when you hit an age, you just automatically get certain questions, right? Like they just assume that's. Yeah, I mean, no one's assuming that I'm out drinking every weekend and getting sloshed and all that. So they think that I've settled down and I've got kids and I'm. You know what I mean?
Well, you're partially there. You don't do that. You don't do the session in there anymore.
No, I don't know, but that is also because I'm too fucking old. Fucking mental.
People don't party like they used to either. Like when you go out into like town centres now, like there's no one really out anymore because the young kids don't really drink.
Yeah,
the people our age are aging out of it.
Yeah, there was a thing about how university students to that go to like poetry shit, like they'd rather go to like a stage show or something like that than go out fucking getting drunk.
The only place that's busy is the Weatherspoons.
I think though that's because the new generation are a bunch of fucking pansies.
Well, there's that, and there's
because
also...
you think to yourself like when we were like younger, or when I was younger, because Jamie's still a child, like you would go out on a Thursday night, not a Friday, when like it's the weekend, a Thursday night, you get completely and utterly rat-ass to the point where you can't fucking keep your eyes open the next morning. You would go to work just because you hate yourself. And now the new ones, they're all like, woke and shit. They're like, oh, no, I can't do something like that. I'll just go to a nice little poetry meeting and have a coffee. And then I can wake up nice and refreshed for the next morning of doing nothing.
That's because they've been given too much. We were told to shut up, Dan. They've been given too much. If we started saying, "Oh, I identify as this," you just get a fucking. You'd be like, "What?" That's what you'd get back. You wouldn't be getting like enabled like this generation now. But the thing is, the big differences as well is you could go to like I don't know, Edge, naming a few places in Edge, like Legends. What was that place next to Liquid?
Can't remember. My thing was I would go to this like Mexican place where you get like a jug for like £5 or £10 or something.
That's just what I was touching on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't remember.
You could go to places and get like drink deals.
Yeah, so I would go there with a tenner.
Slaughtered. Yeah.
And I would buy. It was called like a zombie, and it looked like swamp water. It had like every alcohol they had in a jug, and then they would give you a stamp to get into Edge for free. So like banging, don't have to spend any more money. So I'd be like £10. I'd be like almost fucking destroyed off this one because I hadn't eaten either. That's another trick. You don't eat, and then you go to Edge, and then you're just sipping all these other fucking dickheads' drinks while they're not looking, and then I'm fucking clocking out. I'm done.
Yeah, we used to go to Chicago's.
Chicago's
used to do £12 entry, and you'd get given a card at the beginning of the night, and then you'd get a drink every half an hour. You're allowed to drink every half an hour, up to 16 drinks, and they think you're never going to meet that 16 drinks. We met that 16 drinks and took other people's cards. We were fucking caning it. And we used to do that every single Friday. Every single Friday we'd be in Chicago's doing that. But they don't do that now.
We put the UK on the drinking map. Like people, there's jokes out there. I know. What's his name? Jim Jeffries has a joke. He's like, the Americans have drinking games, and he goes, when you go to Britain, their drinking game is drinking. He's like, you got to go
Mm.
out and you got to get as drunk and smashed as quick as you fucking can, and then you've just got to try and stay awake for the rest of the night. That's what we do. Not anymore, no. Now we're a bunch of fucking wuss bags that can't handle. Well, I remember going out to, there's an Irish bar that's gone now. I can't remember, it's called Eddie's or something. It was near the old bus station,
Yeah.
and fucking tanking like 13 pints of Strongbow, and then just throwing up the whole way home, and then going to
Strongbow
work the
is
next day.
fucking. Oh,
Yeah,
fucking
I didn't drink
Strongbow.
that for a long time after that. Once you've seen it come up,
Yeah.
you don't really want to drink it.
Once you
I'm
felt the
back on it now
burn.
though. Yeah, it's all the sugar, man. That's what
Mhm.
makes it fucking hot when it comes out.
But
Anyway,
just on that as well, we nowadays it's different for us though, because when I go out with like the work lot, we go out like every couple of months and like big dues. We actually now discuss making sure we eat before we go out and discuss doing no shots and stuff because none of us can handle it anymore.
fuck that, man. I don't eat before I go out.
Oh
That's the
man,
way to spend more money. If I want to spend more money, I'll eat.
mate,
Otherwise, it's
you
not
ain't gonna
happening.
last the night with us. Everyone dies. Everyone comes out with that attitude, eating is cheating. Everyone that's done it has been sent home by 7 p.m.
Yeah, but I'm drinking until I'm wobbly at the fucking urinal and I'm done,
Mm.
which is normally about 10 minutes, and then I'm done. I'm happy. I'm good. You know what I mean? Don't need to go for the rest of the night. You got to know your limits, isn't it? Long the days have gone of Dan puking and crying on a night out. I'm
Oh
all right
mate.
now. Dan was so pent up with rage and like just emotions that when I got drunk, it was the only time I let it out. Just bawling my eyes out.
Yeah, the amount of
How was
times
your
you call
holiday?
me.
Oh yeah, they call you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Very good. I would definitely recommend Prague to other people. It was the food was good. We massively underestimated how fucking cold it was. It was because it
Yeah, it wasn't
like
that cold. Like I was there, what, 3 weeks before you? No, not even that.
a
A week
week.
before you. Yeah,
Yeah,
and we
the
were right.
first day and a half was fine, and then in the evening it was freezing. But you expected it to be cold in the evening. But I was like, right, it says it's going to be 0 tomorrow. 0 at home is normally I can get away with going out in a bomber jacket and that'll be it.
Mm.
Nah, not in fucking Prague, bruv. I was walking along, yeah, my nipples were hard, my nose was frozen, my fingers were fucking frozen to a thing. And then Charlotte was like, "Can you feel your face?" I was like, "No, we have to go in here." And we just went into like this random restaurant, and I was like, "I'm gonna have to get some drinks. Is that okay?" And he's like, "Just drinks." And he did everything he could to sell us a bit on the menu. Yeah, I was like, "Nah, bruv, just give me a cocktail." And I just
Fuck's
want a
sake.
cocktail.
I said that to Sabina. I was like, "Look how different mine and Jamie's holidays are." I was like, "I post nothing but food, and Jamie posts nothing but drink."
Oh, we had loads of food, but a lot of the places we weren't allowed to take pictures.
We
Like
don't
Black
take
Angel's
pictures.
Bar, they're not allowed to take pictures and stuff like that. The rooftop bar, you're not allowed to take pictures of the food.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
Did you try this Sviskova?
Yes.
What do you think of it?
No.
What do you mean no? What was wrong with it?
It was just it's fine until the cream and the jam is involved. Like having a savoury dish and then putting the cream and the jam in just ruined it for me.
I agree with the cream. You don't normally put like whipped cream on it, but the jam is like when you go to IKEA and you have like the meatballs
I don't really eat in
and the
IKEA.
Jamie,
Never eaten
man.
it. I think I've eaten
I'm just
once in
gonna.
IKEA, maybe.
I'm not gonna ask you about the rest of the food because you're just gonna upset me now.
Food. The rest of the food was fine. We were the only thing, and it still is haunting me. And I'm not happy with the waiter in this restaurant either. He can, if he's listening, if somehow in this world he listens to this, he can fucking suck his mum, yeah. Because I like, obviously, you know me, I like a bit of Japanese. So we went into a place called 420. So 420 is like just opposite the main fucking church thing that
Mm.
does all the bells. And we're in there, and that does like traditional Czech food, but like more elevated. Because I said a lot of the places we were going, like we had a sausage in one place and stuff, but I didn't really want to try any more because it just seemed too rustic. So I said we'll go to this other place and see what it's like in there. So all the food was really good. We had all like the traditional foods, and like loads of duck and stuff. And he gave us fish dumplings, yeah, which looked like big gozus with like paprika on
Wait,
the top.
is this Japanese food or is this Czech food?
This is Czech food, but he's elevated it. It's like in a
I was gonna
restaurant
say
where
because
they're shooting things
I
up.
don't think duck is a big meat in Czech. I've never
It's
seen duck on a
massive. It's
menu.
in all of the menus in the Czech places. There's duck on
Right
every
then.
menu. But anyway, so I was having these fish dumplings, yeah. So
Right.
they come through, and I was like, they're probably just going to be like white fish. You know what, like gyuzus are like normally. They're quite soft in nature, and
Yeah.
they're always really tasty. So I went all in, yeah. Picked it straight up, put the whole thing in my mouth, and it was fucking carp.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. Yeah.
And a carp is probably one of the most horrendous tasting fishes in this fucking planet. Yeah, there's a reason we don't eat it in this country at all, and the people put it back in the water for a reason. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking disgusting. Yeah, and I goes to the waiter, "What fish is this?" And he goes, "Oh, it's fish." I goes, "Yeah, what fish?" He's like, "A fish." I goes, "Yeah, but what fish is in this?" And then because obviously it tasted like, the only way I can describe the taste is if someone gave me some pulled pork, rolled it around in dirt, slapped a little bit of fucking paprika on top, and put it in a bun and give it to me. That's what it was basically, and it tasted of nothing, just pure muddy meat. Yeah, and he's just going fish, and then I was getting annoyed because obviously I've got a whole mouth full just of this. So then I was like looking at him, and I was thinking, your tip is dwindling away if you don't fucking answer me anytime soon. So then he went off, yeah, and he come back and he Googled it, and he showed me a man on like Fishing Britain Weekly or something, holding one of the carps. He was like, fish. And I was like, so you're telling me I'm eating one of them? And he was like, yeah. I was like, bruv, I've been missold PPI in this fucking place. It's fucking disgusting. And I
What
was
did
like,
you
right,
think it was going to be?
white fish, just a genuine white fish, normal white fish. Because
No, you're in
on the
Czech,
menu
mate.
it said white fish dumplings, but fucking carp is not white fish.
You ain't going to get fucking cod or you know what I mean in Czech.
No, they do a lot of sea bream.
No, I wouldn't. For Christmas, they do. They have like fish head soup and stuff like that. They love a
Mm.
bit of fish over there, but I wouldn't. I
Don't
wouldn't
eat
touch
carp,
it.
Dan. Don't go near the carp.
Oh no, I wouldn't anyway. I mean, I would eat it, and I'd probably enjoy it anyway, but because me and you
Nah,
have very
trust me.
different tastes on food.
Trust me. I enjoyed every other Czech food other than the cream and the jam getting put in, ruining that dish. Uh, I enjoyed every other traditional dish other than that fucking carp. It was awful. Absolutely awful.
Did you stand and look at the clock?
No, because it wasn't working. We sat on the bar, like we was on the rooftop bar opposite it,
Yeah,
looking over, and when we looked at it, it wasn't working. So the little skeleton goes off, doing his
yeah.
little fucking ring, and then nothing happens.
That's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's about it.
that is what happens, is it?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, I thought something
I've
comes
got
out.
I've got the video here somewhere. I think something does, but I mean, it's just. I mean, it's not exactly.
I don't think it wasn't working anyway because everyone was getting annoyed.
um.
But we went up to the castle. The castle was really cool.
Did you pay to go in the cathedral and that?
Yeah,
Oh, you
it's
did.
only
I
like
haven't done
tenner.
that.
It's only
Yeah,
like
but I
a
was like,
tenner.
yeah, I wasn't that bothered by it.
When you've been in one church, you've been in them all, mate. And
Yeah, exactly.
there's just a lot of Chinese people in there. But
um.
it was good. I really enjoyed the spicy sausage. That was probably my favourite Czech dish.
Yeah, all the sausages and that are pretty good. Did you get that at the food market, or did you not get anything at the food market?
And we got pastries at the food market. We got the spicy sausage at the other market on the first day. And then when we went down to the square on the second day, we sat down at one of the restaurants around the square and got it again because I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And we were just sitting there with like a little cover over us, drinking, because the beer, I would say, the Czech beer is probably the best beer in this world.
I don't know. I can't drink it.
Well, you're letting you would be upset, Dan, because it is really good.
I don't
And
know. I've
like,
never found a beer really that I've enjoyed. I don't like the taste of it.
oh mate, this is like everyone says. Oh, the best Guinness you can get is in Dublin. The best beer you can get is in Czech. Trust me. I'm a connoisseur of fucking beer. And the only thing that annoys me is they love giving you 50% froth, but that's their little thing that they do.
You have to ask for a different one. They have three different. I think it's three different types.
Yeah, the
And
lager,
one of them is
Weissman,
is
and
like
the stouty thing.
the what?
There's a Weissman, a lager, and a stout.
They
That's the
do
three
one that's
types.
like pretty much all froth. It's like a liquid at the bottom. It's like an inch high, and then it's like an entire jar of froth.
Yeah, we had that because we went and did like a beer tasting thing,
Oh
and
yeah,
that was quite cool. There was one that was like a cherry flavored one in this place. I'm surprised you haven't been to there. It's called Fat Cat, right in the centre.
yeah, but I don't. Me and Sabina aren't interested in like she doesn't drink.
Yeah, but the food's really good.
Nah, like if it's a place that's like more interested in like alcohol and stuff like that, we won't even bother going.
Well, to a restaurant.
You just said it was a beer tasting.
We had, yeah, they do beer tastings in there, but you can go. It's a restaurant.
No, we go for like places that are like miles away from the center.
Right. Okay.
Because like her sister and boyfriend live there, so they're like, "Oh, this place is really good," and we'll get on a train and we'll be like, "Yeah." I mean, I've only been to one restaurant in the main.
Oh, so you haven't done really any touristy things in Prague then?
Yeah, I've done like the castle, and we went up the. They've got like a Czech Eiffel Tower, and the bay, all
Yeah.
like the main stuff, but not like we just walk through it. Yeah, I mean, it's not like because I mean, there's so much better food if you can speak
Find
Czech.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because once you get out of the town and stuff like that, like I said, like we went for that amazing breakfast, and that wasn't. It was in like the quietest street, and you wouldn't even have known it was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think I sent that to you. I sent you a video of the clock, so you can see it. If you skip to what is it, 25 seconds in, you'll basically it will start going, and yeah, so the windows open at the top, and some people turn around, and then the skeleton bangs a thing. So it looked like it was broken, but it probably weren't.
No, that didn't happen. Them windows didn't happen.
Yeah, so that's it. That's what I said to you. Like, you know, look at it, but I mean, it's not massively exciting.
Them windows didn't open at all. Once we saw it the first time, it was just annoying after that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, trying to get through the. Have you tried? Did you try to walk through there at the hour?
Yeah, because where that is, 4:20 is, and our meal was at fucking 8 p.m.
Yeah, it's just mobbed.
Yeah.
Every hour it's mobbed. It's mental. Fucking crazy. Did you see that Costco are recalling 80,000 blocks of butter?
What's wrong with them?
Do you want to take a? That's the stupidest guess of like why they would call blocks of butter.
Is it a genuine reason, or is it saying it's just
apparently to this universe it's a genuine reason, but I don't think it is.
Is it because it's got like some kind of like it's called like Mr. Butter or something, or Mrs. Butter?
No, but along those lines. So apparently in the description or the ingredients rather, it doesn't state that there is got milk in it.
Right.
So because it doesn't say that it has milk in it, it has to be recalled in case someone eats butter and doesn't know there's milk in it.
Yeah, well, there would be idiots in this world that would fucking do it.
80,000 blocks. I mean, who doesn't know that fucking...
They'll probably repackage them up and send them back.
I just think...
With the thing. Why don't they just put with milk in as like a sign next to it?
It's just baffling. No, because people already bought it, right? Like they've realised that the packaging doesn't say it, and they've sold 80,000 boxes of it.
These fucking vegans and that, yeah, just piss me off, man. Because they're like, oh, it's not in the free front, but it must be free. It must have no fucking milk in it. Just fuck off, bruv. It's clearly going to have milk in it.
Oh yeah, some of that freeform stuff is not genuine like vegan stuff. It's like some of it's just gluten free. Pisses me off, man.
Yeah, because a lot of it would just be sunflower fucking uh whatever it is, spreadable and all that shit.
What annoys me at the minute, and I scream about it every time I go into fucking wherever Tesco's has got it. It's called something like oat something. So basically, everyone knows that I'm dairy free, right? So I go in and I see this block of cheese and it says oat milk on it, and I'm like, oh fucking banging! There's a new type of cheese I can try. It's clearly made with oat milk. It says oat milk on it. So I buy it. A couple of days later, I go to make the thing and I'm looking at the packet and I'm like, I go to Sabina like, this is fucking cheese. And she's like, what? And I'm like, this is cheese, dairy that's mixed with oat milk. I'm like, who the fuck mixes their milk with oat milk? The whole point in oat milk is that it's got no fucking dairy in it. Like, what kind of fucking idiot does
Yeah,
that?
they're just ruining good cheese with oat milk.
Yeah. And now they've
Yeah.
got milk out as well. And they're like, oh, blah, blah, bollocks. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to buy your shit because it just defeats that whole, like, why, if you could eat cheese, would you not eat cheese?
What? Where was that? Was that in the cheese aisle?
Yeah. No, it was on the end. It was like a special offer when it first came out.
Right. I was about to say, why are you in the cheese aisle?
Nah, well, I walk everywhere. I mean, it's called Smug, blended oat and dairy cheddar.
It's like being a vegetarian and being in the meat aisle, isn't it?
I mean, sometimes like the Cathedral City stuff is with the Cathedral City stuff.
Oh, what? They don't have a separate section?
Some places do separate it, but a lot of places just leave it all together. So I just look there just in case.
Asking for fucking trouble, that is.
Oh yeah, well this is what I get about this. I'm like, you see, it says fucking oat milk on it, and you think no one's stupid enough to put oat milk in dairy.
Oh, well, they were stupid enough not to put milk on butter. So that's the world we live in, Dan.
I'm trying to Google them to see what their reasoning behind it is. The goodness of dairy and plants, but that doesn't make any sense.
Do you know we've got a friend that's got a weird affliction to? I don't know if I've ever brought this up. We've got a mate who's got a weird affliction towards cheese.
Right.
Do you know,
oh
do you
yeah,
know
yeah,
about
yeah,
this?
I know the guy. Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about, yeah.
Mhm.
Did I tell you why? Like when we were drunk last, he told me why he doesn't like cheese.
Oh no, he didn't know.
So this guy has made, to put it into context for the listeners, this guy has made fusses in almost every restaurant I've been in. He's had takeaways at my house and actually called up and caused chaos, and then still ended up with cheese on his burger anyway. He's actually like refused orders which had my food in it as well, which drove me mad. And this was all done because he doesn't like cheese. So the reason he doesn't like cheese, which I find fucking mental, like someone like you that can't eat cheese should be angry at someone like him who just doesn't like it. Do you know what I mean? The reason he doesn't like cheese is because as a child he choked on a cheese string.
So he's got like PTSD for cheese strings.
Yeah, just breathe that in, Dan. Just
Doesn't make any sense.
Cheese strings are like 12% cheese anyway. Before I even start. Right, I'm gonna have to.
But that doesn't change what it tastes like.
Run to the toilet. I think getting upset about that's gonna set me wild. Back in a sec. I thought that was the end. But yeah, just drink that in, Dan.
I just don't
and
get
like,
it.
put like, let me set you the scene. Yeah, I was doing margarita night, so I was pretty twisted up. The two guys that I was with pretty twisted up. Charlotte's sitting downstairs having a margarita with us, and he kicks off about his chicken burger that he's ordered because it's still got cheese on it. And then like I was just eating my food quietly while he's kicking off at the restaurant, and
Yeah.
he goes, right, I'm not going to eat it out of principle. Just it's only a cheese slice. Do you know them cheese slices you get in burgers?
Yeah, American cheese.
Yeah, it's probably 1% real cheese in it.
Yeah,
I said you wouldn't even
like
taste it. Yeah, you wouldn't even taste it. I was like, unless it's like slathered in cheese sauce, you're not going to chase that fucking cheese. Just eat it. Yeah. No, he wouldn't eat it. So then I was like, okay. And I was like, so why don't you like cheese? Thinking that he had like a weird affliction towards fucking blue cheese or something, which is kind of understandable. Some people don't like it. No,
Mm-hmm.
choked on a cheese string as a child that his mum gave him in his lunchbox.
I don't understand though why you wouldn't, when you grow up, be like, I'm gonna try cheese now because it's a taste, right?
I can chew
Like,
now.
yeah, yeah. He's not fucking Bevo, you know what I mean? Like I don't understand. Like when I was younger, I remember coming home from my auntie's and she gave me one of the hard candies,
Yeah.
and I some stupid reason choked on it for a bit. I didn't tell anyone. I just like sat there until I could swallow it, and
Mm.
then times pass. I don't now be like I don't like hard sweets. That's
No,
it. I don't.
exactly.
No,
Yeah.
I can't even look at them. They give me the fear. Yeah, I mean, sweet shops are a nightmare for me now. You just get over it. It's not like you've been shot. You've not been strangled or kidnapped or anything like that. You get
No,
over it.
get over it. So then I think it was that day. No, it was a barbecue I did not long after that. I was putting cheese because when I'm doing the barbecues, I put that American cheese on the patty while
Everyone
it's
does.
going. So then to get it a bit warmer, so it actually melts onto the patty.
Yeah.
So I knew he's got this weird fucking shit about cheese. So then I left one patty free. There's three of us, but there's four patties, and I did three with the assuming me or Michael get the other one. And he was annoyed that I put it on that other one because he wanted the extra one. So then I just said, just eat it. So then I cut it in half and told him to eat it. And he sat there and ate it. And he was like, oh, yeah, it tastes all right. I'm like, yeah, exactly. So you spent 30 odd years of your life being a dick. Do you know what I mean? And there's people like this in this world. Do you know what I mean? And they walk around like, yeah, I kicked off about the carpin check and stuff like that. But that's something that's new to me. Do you know what I mean? Cheese is fucking like everywhere. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you're never going to get away from it, really.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like the other day on our last breakfast, I had truffle in my scrambled eggs while
Right.
coming back from Czech, and it was just too much. I like truffle, but it was too much truffle, and it was overpowering, and I didn't like it. But I'm never not going to eat fucking truffle, or I'm never going to not eat scrambled eggs again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No. It's just one bad experience, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Talking of Czech, we were we were staying in the Jew district, which I thought was insane that they called it the Jew district, which was funny.
The whole time I was walking around there, I just kept singing Dreidel from South Park. Speaking like, shut up, and I'm like, Dreidel, Dreidel, Dreidel.
And you know, it's got all like the Balenciaga shops and the fucking posh shops.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm walking along, and this is on day 2 when I've realised that how cold it actually is. So I'm wearing my bomber jacket and my hoodie up with my hat forward. And every time I went near a door, the little security men were like, nah, brother, you ain't coming in it. Sharp was like, they think that you're some sort of ruffian. I was like, I'm not going to rob a fucking handbag. Do you know what I mean? But
Last time we were there, just before you go into the Jew district, there's you get the people that try and get you on those buses, the open top buses thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we were standing there trying to decide where to go, and these two fucking guys were starting to fight with each other because they were like on each other's turf. And I'm just like standing there, like eyes glued to them, like they're fucking yelling at each other. And I'm like, it's about to kick off, it's going to kick off. Watching these two people, and they got fucking flags sticking off their back so you can see them. And I'm like, this is gold. I'm loving this.
We went to a pretty cool place up in a park, like on like the top of a hill.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really far away from all the main bit. That might be worth for you going to next time you're out there if it's summertime anyway, because it was like basically like a mini market. It's pretty cool up there, and it seems to be there all year. They do like really good food out of the food van. They give you like a little thing to hold on to know when it's ready and shit. And they do good coffee up there as well.
Oh, I can't drink the coffee. They're coffee snobs over there. They don't do decaf. So I just drink. Yeah, I normally just get like a cider or something, or like some alcohol.
Well, they sell booze. There'll be loads of booze up there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, well, I always ask. I'm like, because I said to you before, didn't I? I was like, someone else would be like, "Have you got tea?" I'm just like, alcohol. Yes, they don't do decaf,
I think I
but
had
it's
one
alright.
soft
I get
drink the whole time I was there. The rest of the time, the beer's like treacle.
Sabina always has to have Gafola. I
Gafola.
sent you the video. Yeah, it's like Czech cola.
Oh yeah.
It's okay. I it's not like I enjoy it, but it's not like when you like gasping for something refreshing and a Coke just like fucking hits that
Yeah, it
button.
gets there.
Gafola's not like that.
Yeah, it's a bit more heavy.
It's a bit no, it's a bit more like the only way I could describe it to people is like it tastes a bit like that dandelion and burdock.
Ah, yeah.
So it's got like a florally
Medicinal
spicy
taste.
sort of taste. Yeah. So
Mm.
it's like I can't just like chug it like I could like Coke, but it's good to have. Yeah, I mean I can enjoy it.
Mm.
They had a apple and cinnamon Christmas flavor when I was over like the other week, and no one would drink it. But it didn't taste of anything. It tasted like Coca-Cola, and they're like,
Mm.
"Oh no," because they've been drinking it all their life, right? And they're like, "Nah, that's disgusting." I'm like, "It tastes exactly the same as the other one," so I just ended up drinking it.
That's probably like what the Scottish thought of me when I drank a Buckfast that time. Do you remember?
I don't mind Buckfast. Just like tastes like
Mate,
cheap red wine.
I was fucking. We were standing in your room. I was like, bruv. I was
My
like, I'm
brother
gonna die
drinks it now.
today. Does he?
I when we got back from the cinema, that's what I was about to talk about. When we got back from Czech, we'd missed the cinema for 2 weeks, and
Mm.
we're like, "Oh, what's on at the cinema?" And fucking everything's on at the cinema. So we've been trying to cram it all in,
All right.
and we're still behind, still now. So I saw Smile 2.
How's that?
That I preferred the new one to the old one.
Well, they're saying that the second one is the one of the best thrillers that's been out in the last few years.
It made me jump a couple times, but I don't know. I just love the whole because obviously you knew what was happening right from the first one. It's pretty much a similar,
Yeah.
identical
And
story.
entities and people.
Yeah, but because she was famous and stuff like that, like it just felt like worse off. Like it just felt like it was more, and the ending was fucking quality as well. So it's definitely a good movie. I'd watch it happy again. And
Yeah.
then we saw Venom 3.
How's that? Have they rushed it again?
It's
Or
gone the
was it?
same way as Thor, where like the first Thor and the first Venom was sort of like edgy and cool and a bit sort of aggressive.
Mm.
And this one's just a joke. Like I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong; it was a good movie to watch because obviously it's Tom Hardy, but it was just him moaning and Venom making jokes like the whole way through the movie.
Did it add any depth to it?
Not really, no. But it was good. Like the action was good, and they had like other Venoms and stuff, so that was pretty good. So
Because I'm waiting for, because obviously that's come out, and then there's Craven the Hunter coming out as well, and I'm hoping to death they don't ruin Craven the Hunter.
well, it's Sony in it; they're gonna fuck it up. But I'm
Yeah.
hoping too because I love that guy. It looks really good. And then we
Mm.
saw Heretic.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be good.
That was fucking good. I really enjoyed that. A really sort of like
See the depth in what's his name.
he's
Acting.
quality now. Like I'm so glad he got away from his like rom com bollocks, and he's like since like The Gentleman, and he's done like these really edgy sort of
Not short films. What are they called? The lower budget films.
yeah. But I mean, he just shows that he's actually like because he had like a really sort of one line, like a bit like Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
He just does the same shit over and over again, and now you can actually see that he is.
Well,
In a
Liam
fucking way.
Neeson was that in rom-com as well
He
before he
was, yeah,
moved over.
yeah. I tell you what, though, if anyone wants to have fucking nightmares, there's a film that he did where he's in Scotland. It's called Big Man, and when you see Liam Neeson sucking on a tit, I tell you, never unsee it.
That's like me when I put that fucking carp in my mouth. I've never undone it again.
Yeah, it's just something that just lives. It just lives with you. Like it just
Forever.
takes a bit of your soul. Yeah, you just every now and again when you don't think you're looking at it, it just pops up in your head.
Titty in mouth.
Oh man, it's so fucking. But there's a brilliant bit because it's got what's the Glaswegian comedian? That's so bad. I've forgotten his name.
Glass region. Kevin Bridges.
No, he's gone. He's gone a bit funny now. Oh,
Frankie Boyle.
Billy.
Conley.
Connolly. He's in it. He's like young in it, and he's like getting a fucking blowjob, and this guy's trying to like break into his room, and he's trying to get finished. That's fucking hilarious. So the tit thing balances out with him.
Billy Connolly, he's got Parkinson's. He's not got funny.
Is it? No, it's got. He ain't got Parkinson's. It's something else in it.
I'm pretty sure it's Parkinson's. Yeah.
I thought Parkinson's was the thing. No, that's not the shaking thing, is it? Yeah, but that doesn't make your head go funny, is it?
Yeah.
What's going on with Billy Connolly?
Sure, it's Parkinson's. It's
Oh
something
yeah, it is.
along
Yeah,
those lines.
yeah. Symptoms of Parkinson's have progressed. I thought that just made because isn't that what Michael J. Fox has got?
Was it that, or was it he has MS?
No, it's not MS. He's just got the shakes, isn't he? He's all there still. He's just got the shakes.
Well, I know what. That's how it starts. It starts with the shakes, and eventually it fucks your head up as well. Gives you like a sense of dementia. We had a really good. When you come down next, we'll have to take you there. It's a really good Japanese place.
It's only round the corner.
Only round the corner from me. It's not called Parkinson's though. I had to get over the dumpling fear, so I thought if I go to a Japanese place, it will then replace the carp being in my mouth the day before. So when we landed at like 5:00 in the afternoon. I said, let's just book a table and go straight to the Japanese place. So we went straight there, and it was like really, really good food. And they did this because I don't like sake, as you know, after what happened years ago with the sake with my mate in the flat. So I don't normally go for it, but Charlotte tried it, and it was a yuzu, like lemony sake with ice in it, like served cold, because it's normally served warm.
Mm-hmm.
And no word of a lie, if they had given me a bottle, I would have drank the bottle. But
oh yeah, I like sake.
It was fucking amazing, and it really made, because obviously the food was really good. The place was empty because it was a fucking Monday night, sorry. So it was just me and Charlotte. The food was really good, and then that topped it off, and I was like, okay, I'm over Carp Gate now. I'm happy now. Do you know what I mean? But we definitely have to take you there. Hopefully they get enough customers, because it's worrying to see places empty that are good.
Well, people don't like to try new things, right?
Mm.
Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should overtaken as food for thought. We are in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners, and no information is shared to anyone else. If you're easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. Please enjoy the rest of the show. Remember, our merch is live. Just go onto our beacons and you'll find all our merch, hats, t-shirts, whatever you would like. And there's also a 20% off Essence Vault. Did you have one of them chimney cakes while you're in Czech?
Yeah, brilliant.
It's not, it's not Czech, right?
Probably not.
It's a massive scam. Did you know that?
Is it?
Yeah, it's a massive, massive scam in Czech. Because if you go around, all the signs say old Czech recipe and stuff like that. It's not Czech. I think it's like from Budapest or something like that. But it's just a massive tourist scam from like people. Sabina's cousin's like, oh, it's the mafia or something. I don't know if that's true. But
well, so they mustn't be making that much fucking money on it. I think I paid like $3.
Oh, you're joking, yeah? It's like
£3.
That's why there's so many of them. Like they make fucking tons of money on it because people think it's Czech. It's mental.
No, we had that in the May. We had that when we were walking around because we went to the Absinthe Bar, innit?
Oh, I wanted to go there.
The Absinthe Bar does cocktails, but obviously everything, no matter what you put with absinthe, is always going to fucking taste of absinthe. So I was like, I need something to change my palate. So we quickly got one of them on the way back to the hotel room.
Yeah, no, I had one too.
It's essentially a big churro.
Yeah,
best way to describe it.
I just think it's funny because it's nothing to do with Czech at all. Like not any of it is about Czech. But you just, especially if all the Czech signs in Czech, like I know I can read a little bit of them. It's sort of like that. Made me laugh. Listening to you guys laughing about the people looking for reduced goods when you're looking into retail never resonated with me until now. I started a job at Tesco's to try and get some money before I head out travelling. One of my roles is to further reduce items in the evening, and there is people who arrive almost an hour before I'm due to do it and wait for a 20p quiche. These people we are now having to keep behind a barrier until we've scanned and ready. And no word of a lie, as soon as we lift the barrier, they run and attack each other over the food. And most of the time, it's stuff they don't really need. Very rarely is it a necessity item. Do you think the cost of living has caused this outbreak, or people were just cheapskates?
People just cheapskates, man. It's always been the fucking same.
It has always been, yeah, before all of this stuff, like ever since I've worked there, and we both started at the same time. It's been like
Well
that.
over 10 years ago, it was always the same people.
Yeah, it is always the same people, yeah. And not to be like funny or anything like that, but most of the time, like the next sales, it's like the Pakistani and like Asian people.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
they'll have like their kids and everything, and they'll be like grabbing everything. Like it's like more hands get into the fucking basket, and that's not a race thing. That's like that's just observational fact, right? I'm not making this up. I've worked for the co-op for like 7 years.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And the
The
next sale
demographic,
thing is
innit?
right as well. Like you can't see one of them up here in Scotland. Like they're about, but you don't see them very often. If you go to a next sale, it's like it's like Moses parted the sea. Like they're everywhere.
Next, the shop.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You ever
I
been
didn't
to a
even know they
next
did this.
sale?
No, I don't. You don't. Yeah,
Holy
I don't go to
fuck.
the fucking. I go near the shops, bruv.
My mum goes there, and I went with her once. You know, people line up at like fucking 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and if you go, it's like Baghdad, not Baghdad, Pakistani, like a spice market. They're fucking everywhere. You know what I mean? Absolutely everywhere.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yeah. And like again, that's not a racist thing. Anyone that's been to Next,
Let's hope the AI don't clip
you
that
know,
out.
fuck them. Say whatever I like. It's my fucking podcast. Yeah, I mean, they're fucking. But that's why all their kids like they're all wear. I love Next. I buy Next all the time. Sabine always makes fun of me, but that's why you see all the kids wearing nice clothes. Next sale,
Mate, I'm like, I can't even remember the last time I was in. We were talking about going Christmas shopping because we're at a loss of what to get people this year. And I
yeah,
don't remember. We were trying to figure out when the last time I was physically in a shop to shop. Like, other than I've been to the shopping centres to go for a meal somewhere nearby, or like walking through to go to like play like putt shack or bowling or something. But I don't remember the last time I was physically in a store at all. And I want to fucking keep it that way. Do you know what I mean?
I don't mind it. I don't know. I think
The level of stress I get walking into TK Maxx is unfounded. Like, there's no need for the TK Maxx to exist. I'm better off not being near it. Do you know what I mean? I'm better off. I can find nicer things online, and then I don't have to interact with all the fucking morons in public.
see, I'm difficult, like because I don't like to wait.
Yeah,
So
you want to buy
like
it instantly.
yeah. So if I go to a shop, which I prefer to do because I can try it on or whatever, I'll buy more. If I sit at home and I look at my phone, I'm like, oh, that's cool, and then it's like wait 3 days. I'm like, ugh, do I
Do you
really
have
want to
a
wait three
delivery? Do
days?
you not get next day delivery where you live?
It depends on like what it's ordering and stuff like that. But I'm normally like obviously I work for that day, so if I order it at night, it's definitely not coming the next day. That's enough for me to not buy it.
See, we're down where we are. If we order before 10 p.m., it will be there the next day.
I don't know. I think because we don't really have that many shops up here that going to the shops isn't as you know what I
Prolific.
mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally since COVID, I've never hated anything more than being in shops. In fact, being in, I know I've said about that, didn't I? Get in the petrol station and the entire family needed to
Yeah.
decamp the vehicle to fucking put the fucking petrol in.
Mm-hmm.
That is the level of people you're dealing with. And then, like, when I'm in airports as well, it just all comes back to me. Like when I'm standing in Heathrow Airport earlier this week, me and Charlotte are straight through, no problems in it. And then I just look back and there's the same family that were holding up the queue from fucking ages ago. And I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, why are these people allowed to be outside the house? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should be
I
like,
agree.
they should. These people, when you got a certain level of IQ, they should sterilize you, yeah, and then fucking say, right, no more breeding, yeah. You stay in your house, don't come out, and just let them fuck, and just give them food each week. I think that would be a lot easier than ruining everyone else's day.
I think, it would be a good like if there was some way. for only a select amount of people to be allowed to buy the reduced goods. Because you've got like food banks and stuff like that. Because most of the people that come to these reduced sections
Scavengers.
have money. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with them. They work. They've got probably tons of money, and they buy everything. Like the person said, like even if they don't need it and it's an necessity, they fucking buy it.
Do you remember that
Like,
geezer? It was 10 years ago, so you might not remember him, but he used to be balding, always didn't look like he washed. He used to have like a underbite, and he used to like scurry around. He was like a little bit. He looked a little bit special at times. Do you remember him?
I don't know. I only
And
remember the tall fella.
he was obsessed with it. Not Mister Nunn. He was a younger guy. He was balding.
No,
And
I don't think so.
this geezer now, yeah, he's still doing it 10 years later, down there every fucking night at 6 p.m. And he's riding an electric scooter across Hitchin Road to go and do it.
Fucking mental. But you know what I mean? Like, because you got the app now that's like, I use it sometimes. The Too Good to Go,
Yeah.
which is a fucking quality app. I use it quite a lot. But it'd be good if there was something like that, like people that like families and stuff that are on like food banks and that have
That
an
actually
app.
need the food.
Yeah. And they get let known, like, by the way, the reduced food is going to be out at this time. It gets put at the back. No one could see it, but the people that have the ability to go in there and ask for it or go and view it and stuff like that, I think that'd be much better, because I hate it. Sometimes I go in there and I just look at them and I'm like, why have you bought fucking 25 trifles that have gone out, that are going out of date the same day? What are you going to do with them?
Why, Sonia? Tell me why you've got 12 tikka masalas sitting there when there's only you living alone and your cat.
Yeah,
Do you know
and
what I
you're going
mean?
to throw them away. That's what annoyed me about COVID, when people were panic buying and there was pictures of like bread and like fruit and shit getting chucked in the bin. And it's like, why did you buy that?
Because they're fucking idiots, man. One of my good friends. I can't name him on the podcast. You're gonna be annoyed. But one of my good friends, his mum, like bought up so much oil, vegetable oil, that their entire garage is absolutely covered in 5 litre drums of fucking oil. I was like, "Are you planning an attack or something?" And he was like, "Nah." He's like, "It was mum. Don't worry about it, man. Like, we were slowly making our way through it." I was like, "How many drums have you made it through?" 3 since fucking 2021. Do you know
I
what
just be
I
deep frying everything.
mean?
What are we having tonight? Oh, deep fried lasagna. What? Yeah, just deep fried
that and
everything.
dried pasta. They had to throw out tons of it because it all went out of date.
Fuck's sake. But you know what? Like, I know that's impossible, and it's like a complete sort of like. But that would be the ideal situation, right? You take it away from all these people that don't deserve it,
Mm-hmm.
and you give it to the people that generally need it.
Well, it's not impossible. There would be a service that instead of, because the shops don't need that profit, that 12p profit they will make off of it, they
No.
could give that to, as a charitable donation, give that to some sort of, not food bank, because obviously that's normal stuff, but like a reduced thing. And then that is opened up alongside the food bank. That would be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And then
I
people
just
get
think
like the odds and sods.
I
But
just
then all
hate, and
them fuckers would be in there.
they're so entitled about it as well. Like, I
Yeah.
used to hate doing it, and they're sort of like, "You're not going to take more for this." I'm like, "Are you really going to argue about another?" Like, the best thing the co-op did for us is when they said, "Scan it, and whatever price it comes up with, that's the
Is what
sticker
you
that
do it
goes
to,
on it."
yeah. Even if
Because
it's
we
two
used to
p
have to
less.
make up, yeah, we used to have to make up the number, didn't we?
Mm.
And I used to take off like a penny. But like, yeah. So I was like, I'm just like, nah, the machine gives us the price. That's what it is.
Mm.
Oh, oh, oh. It's like, fuck off. I ain't paid
What I
enough
used to
for this.
do is I used to load a trolley because on Sundays as well, because we finish earlier because obviously the shop was too large to be open later than 4 p.m. on the Sunday.
Yeah.
They would know that, so at 3:30 or 3 o'clock when we started reducing all the bakery stuff, they'd be hanging about. So I would take it all into the warehouse, reduce everything, and then just fire it out the door. And then
Yeah.
it'd just be like, do you know when like you see someone fall in the water with piranhas?
Yeah.
It's just like that. It's like a human version of that, like just like donuts and up in the air, all this shit. And I'm just thinking, you're only saving yourself 12p. You could have bought it at 10 o'clock this morning and not gone through this.
Towards the end of when I was leaving, and I had enough and I didn't give a fuck anymore. I used to throw it away. People, they'll be coming and they'll be like, is this going to be reduced now? I'm like, no, I've already done it. And then I'll just purposely throw it away so they couldn't have it because I just get sick of them asking. You know what I mean?
I remember Mr. Nunn. He's probably dead now, so but we can say his name. But Mr. Nunn, he's got to be dead, and it was 10 years ago. He was fucked then. But
I
anyway,
don't know.
Mr. Nunn, yeah, he was beyond it. He was beyond it, and he used to come in, and he goes to me. He was really aggressive as well. He
Yeah,
actually
he
got
is,
me in
yeah.
such a temper one day that I accidentally left the till open and walked away from it with like fucking hundreds of pounds sitting in it. But anyway, he come up to me and he goes, "Are you not going to reduce these?" And I'm looking at him, and I thought, "I'm going to buy them." I bought them to piss him off, so I bought them at full price. I didn't want it; it was like jalapeno bread because he was obsessed with jalapeno bread, and I was like, "I'm going to buy that," and I bought it, and I gave it to mum and dad the next day, and I was like, "Here you go." They was like, "Oh, why'd you get that?" Because my mum just assumed everything that I brought home that we were just given at the end of your shift, and I think a lot of people assume that stuff that runs out of date they just give you. No, you have to stand there and scan the fucking thing out and put it in a bag.
Yeah.
There's no fucking taking that shit home.
No.
But I remember he was looking at me and he was fuming. And I bought like loads of random bits that he wanted because I thought, "Fuck you, you little fucking prick."
When you scan the waste out towards the end, I used to just take a bite out of the bakery stuff. I just take a bite out of it and just throw it in the bag.
Fake fuck, I weren't your manager at the end.
Fuck them. Fuck them. Yeah, he did the same thing to me when we got the fucking hot food. You can only have it out for 4 hours.
Oh,
I
I
saw that
knew
man
that as well.
fucking
Yeah,
like, yeah, what a
he'd
prick.
come out. He'd come look at the time, and then he'd be back in 3.5 hours.
Ugh.
Prick.
I could see it when I put it out. I could see him come in, and I'm just like, fuck me.
And he literally
fucking
walked like Land of the Living Dead, didn't he? Like his coat was hanging off him. He had chest hair. Like sometimes I'd be talking to him because I was at the height of his chest hair. It would be like up my nose as he's talking to me, and I'm thinking, "Fuck me, man! Just get away from me, you old bastard."
Oh, I couldn't do it now. Thanks for the email. Hopefully you're not lasting there long and you go on your travels, but safe travels. And thanks for your email. I shat myself at work and I've been off sick ever since. Last Tuesday, I shat myself during a safety presentation in front of a room of people.
Oh God!
I sat there until majority of the room had left at the end of the meeting, but I was wearing a light-coloured suit, and now I'm the subject of rumours. I'm horrified, and I haven't got back to work since. I'm not sure what my next steps are, guys. What would you do? So this was actually a couple weeks old, so hopefully
Poor guy.
he's already sorted it out, yeah, and he's gone back to work.
I talked to Charlotte about this when this originally came, and I was like, "How has that happened to someone?" I was like, "Charlotte, this is probably the third person who's written in about shitting themselves at work."
I still think we should make it normality, right? We're trying to fight for women to be able to talk about their periods. Why is it not safe to talk about shitting yourself? It happens to a lot of people. Clearly, we know that from this podcast. Everyone shits. Just deal with it, yeah? Everyone's got stomach problems, right? Everyone has them. A lot more than we think.
Mm-hmm.
Shit yourself, it's okay. I fight for you, my friend. Don't you worry. I'm in your corner.
I spent the whole of Prague hanging on to life. Just at any point it could have happened, but it didn't happen.
I know where the toilets are now, so I'm okay. I can pretty much find my toilets. Well, there's the difference, right? He said there's now rumours. That's not fact.
No, someone's clocked it and then they've spread it, but it's only a rumour. So just play absolute dumb to it. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
The fact that you've gone sick doesn't help, but you could say you was really ill that day.
Yeah, say you weren't feeling very well. There was a guy at work. I think I brought this up about before, but he sharted, and he was quite proud of it. So like he sharted, and then I remember bumping into him. He's leaving. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm going home, man. I've farted and shit myself." And I like laughed at him and carried on. But he told a few people because he's trying to play it off like, I shit myself. But then the whole factory was like, "Oh, blah blah blah," shit himself. So when he came back and realized how big a story he just made himself, he was like, "No, it was a joke, man. I didn't shit myself." And like, "Yeah, all right, yeah, you shit yourself."
Mate, there's a guy that has had the nickname Pissy McGee, yeah, since before I even started in my place, and he's still called. Yeah, I don't think he even knows he's called Pissy McGee, but he's been called Pissy McGee for the last 20 fucking years. Everyone calls him Pissy McGee, isn't it?
Oh man, saying that, I thought I pissed myself the other day. Like I was standing working, and obviously it's like a cold environment and stuff like that. And I went to move some hooks, and then all of a sudden my right leg went warm,
Oh
and I'm
no,
just like, "I just
you're
pissed myself."
involuntary pissing.
I don't know. So I'm sort of like looking down without trying to have anyone notice. I'm like, squeezing my. I'm like, no, I didn't. But do you get that? I don't know if it's something to do with like having your phone in your pocket, but sometimes I just
Could
get this
be.
heat in my leg, just randomly, like a phone's vibrating or.
Nothing that I've noticed. I have had times where, especially like when it's fucking freezing, where I'm thinking it could happen at any point. I could piss myself, but I managed to always get to the toilet. It's like my brain's telling me, and like working in the clean room is the worst thing for it as well because we're in a full bodysuit. So you can imagine me. Like, I'm wearing a beard net, hair net, glasses, fucking clean room shoes, and like an Oompa Loompa suit, yeah, almost.
Mm,
And I've got to take all that off, and you leave it till last second because obviously you don't want to keep coming out
yeah.
because obviously you're wearing all the gear. So you leave it till last second. So sometimes I'm actually fucking sweating just getting the stuff off, and I'm just like, but sometimes I can't even get it time to hang it up on the hook. I have to just ball it up and throw it in the corner, and then just fucking run. And I said one day, I'm going to piss or shit myself in the fucking clean room, and
Yeah.
no one will ever hear from me again. I'll be like gone in the wind. Do you know? Do you know like that Homer Simpson fucking meme where he just disappears into the bush? That'll be
Yeah.
me, innit? You just hear my car start up, and they'll be like, "Oh, why's Jamie gone?" And I'll text once I'm home saying something happened. I'm not coming back.
I tell you that the other couple months ago, like my stomach was so bad that I was driving to work looking at side of the road where I could take a shit.
I remember there was a time where you had a real bad period with the stomach.
Yeah,
So was it
was
around
it then? I
then?
don't know, but I remember because I go along the motorway
You're
and like
thinking, where
I'm
could I shit over the
yeah, I
verge?
was looking for like specific things, right? Like I wanted a guardrail and I wanted like a dark spot so I could pull up my car up to the guardrail, climb over the guardrail, and I could squat and take a shit, and no one
Oh,
would sort of,
my
be
worst
bothered by
nightmare
it.
would fall in it. If you fall in it, there's no
You just
coming
got to
back from that.
accept it, man. Like I said, everyone has fucking stomach problems nowadays. Like,
Mm,
especially because obviously I'm now learning that a lot of mine is like, well, obviously I have IBS, but it's like mental as well.
yeah.
So people with like anxiety and stuff like that, like it's a common thing. So I'm gonna keep thinking. Yeah, I mean, wear it proud, man. Obviously, clean the suit. Don't actually wear it, but it happens, man, and we got to fight for these people. Make it
Make light
more
of it as well
normal.
because, like, talking of anxiety, I say every time I go out, I'm going to go for my anxiety shit. And then
Yeah,
I literally do every time I go out. And like all my mates know it, my missus knows it, like everyone knows it. And as long as you just say it and get ahead of it, there's nothing no one can say to you.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't even like mention it, man. Like, if it's a rumor, just let it be a rumor.
Yeah, yeah.
Most
With that
people would,
situation, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Most people are too embarrassed to like come up and ask you about it, unless you get that one guy that comes up and is like, did you shit yourself the other day? And you just be like, no, I didn't.
And then just cut his throat
Yeah, yeah,
and let the
just
rumor
straight
end
out be
there.
like, no. Let him
Yeah.
know that you're not pissing about. But yeah, I wouldn't even bring it up. I would just go in and work and not worry about it. I know it's easier to say that than
Then
actually
yeah.
do it. But once you've got over that hump of like the first day and stuff like that, then
If you have been off as well, sitting at home stewing on it is not good for your
no.
mental health.
I mean, the only way really it could have been bad is if you were just like exploded and like someone had to clean it up after you. But if like you did it and you managed to leave and that's it. That's another
You
thing.
just like
Yep.
crabbed, sidestepped out the room and down the stairs and off you go.
It's still not as bad as the guy that went to the restaurant and then the
Oh
waiter helped
yeah,
him out the back and he left the woman. Um, I still think that waiter should have got a massive fucking tip.
mate, you should definitely have got a tip.
Yeah. But we're behind you, man. Like I said, it's a couple of weeks old now, so I'm sure you're back at work and stuff like that. Because I mean, and and you can do it, man. Be strong. Hi, Jamie and Dan. Listening to the recent episode, I have felt the energy come back a bit. Now the quarrels over policy and state affairs is over, and you guys are having a laugh again. It's much more enjoyable. It's cheered me up at the moment because I've grown to hate my job and hope it will find a way to end without my control because the money is good and I hate everything else about it. I feel stuck on a stagnant cesspit. What can I do, guys? Am I just a coward for not wanting to change up the job just because it's good money? Mate, if you're a coward, then I'm a fucking coward.
It's. I was talking to one of my friend's 16-year-old sons the other day, and he is like, "Why are you doing a job that you don't really?" He said that to his dad. He said, "Why did you do a job you don't really like?" And I was just like, "You don't like unless you're fucking very lucky." I've said this loads of times on the podcast. You're not going to be in a career that you really love and enjoy and still get paid the wages that you want. I could turn around tomorrow and become a podcast producer, but I earn fuck all money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's the people that have got the um like the ability to be able to just not worry about the money side of it and um follow their career paths. If that pays off, all being well, but someone's obviously had to look after them for the first part of their fucking life to sort that out. And I think especially when you're young, you think that it's all going to be fine and dandy, and you could do this, and you could follow whatever you do whatever you want, and you could earn as much money as you want from it. But then reality sets in, and if you want to be living in a nice house in a nice area or whatever, you need to fucking start conducting yourself as a normal human being. Do you know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, for sure. Like when you get older and stuff like that, like obviously when I was younger I was like, it'll work out sort of thing. And now I'm at that age where I'm just sort of like work is work. And
Yeah.
if as long as the money is good enough, then when I come out of work I don't have to worry about it. Like everyone has to work, right?
And everyone has shit go on at work that you don't like.
Yeah, yeah. So like as long as when I come out of work I'm not dwelling on it and I actually I do things or I have nice meals and stuff like that. That's my life.
Yeah.
Like no matter where I go, like every company is a piece of shit. I've worked enough companies to realize that the grass ain't fucking greener. Yes, you might get better managers and stuff like that, but every company is only out to make money. They're only out for themselves, and you're just a number. So if you're on good money and it's not completely unbearable, you know what I mean? If something better comes along, of course, goes for it. But
I,
at this
I would
time and
I would
point,
say like because obviously he doesn't want to quit. That's why he's saying he wants it to end out of his control. So essentially, he wants to be made redundant. But I think the best way for you to think about things is if it's not affecting your mental health to the point where you think you can't go on because you hate your job so much,
yeah,
and that it's a livable situation, then stick to the job and earn that money and enjoy your life, like Dan said, outside of work,
mm,
and don't bring that stuff home with you. If it's getting to a point where you can't put it behind you and you're sitting at home thinking about fucking Harry in the office has said this to you today and it's really done your head in, then you need to change your jobs.
yeah,
It's something you need to weigh up your wallet and your mental health. Is it coinciding with each other? Is it working or is it not? That's what
yeah,
you've got
for
to go
sure.
with.
I always say because obviously my pay is based on my job. I'm like,
Mm.
if they ever move me and reduce my money, I'm gone. Because
I'm
the only reason
gone.
I'm there, yeah, the only reason I'm there is because the money is better anywhere else. But if
Mm.
you're going to take money off me, and it's the same as everywhere else, then I'm going to find somewhere closer to home.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
what am I losing then?
It's like I just went through a whole thing with a shift change, which obviously I've spoke to you off mic about. Um, I lose money because this was always a temporary shift that I was on, the
Mm,
fucking mess around shifts. But I get my work-life balance even further back than I did before. I get my weekends back every second weekend and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
there's like counterbalances to things. But like when we were negotiating the deal to come off, they were trying to mess us around with it, and they knew if they kept pushing us, that everyone would just start looking for other jobs,
Yeah.
and then they were going to have to then fill like them jobs really quickly because there's no time to stop. Do you know what I mean? And they'll just shit themselves. And at the end of the day, you've got to realize that the power's with you. Sometimes it's not always, management have got the control, but if you can work together as like a team and not actually take the shit sometimes, that just gives a little back to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that does pay off, but you have to be careful with it. You don't want to be fucking going in there starting strikes and shit. But
Mate, I would love to.
mate,
Fucking even then, we saying about wusses. Strikes aren't strikes anymore. We had one at work a few years ago,
mm,
and I come in. I didn't even know it was happening, and everyone sat in the changing rooms. I'm like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Oh, we're striking." I was like, "Okay, fair enough." A couple of hours later, one of the guys goes up to the meeting. He comes down. He's like, "Right, we're going back to work." And I was like, "Thought we were striking." Oh yeah, well, they said that we'll have a conversation, but they need us to get back to work. And I'm like, "Do you not know what strike is?"
no,
I was like, "You're not supposed to
it's
go
not the
back to
same
work."
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, oh, we'll go back to work and then we'll have a meeting later. I'm like, well, why don't you just do that in the fucking first place? I've missed out on an hour's work now, you dickhead. Fucking Christ. Um, but yeah, keep your head up, man. Like, you're a long time listener, and we know that you go through ups and downs, but just enjoy the time out. Like, wherever you go, I mean, it's going to be the same sort of thing. It's just be different procedures and
Oh yeah,
whatnot. So
work
just
is
try
work.
and work is work. Like, if the money's good and it keeps you afloat and stuff like that, just try and enjoy yourself outside of work. So, so this next email is just a reply from an email that me and Jamie had a couple weeks ago, and I can't. I'm not going to show anyone the pictures because that's not the right. But we asked a long time listener to email in photos of his Halloween costume, which I'm sure everyone now knows what I'm talking about.
Oh,
The
it was bread truck.
the bread thing. I don't know what it was. I can't remember what we're talking about. I know
Bread
there was a long
truck.
conversation about
The
bread
prostitute
trucks.
was a bit.
Yeah. Um, but he has sent the photos in, which we thank you. Thank you so much for doing. Um,
Fucking amazing.
yeah, it looks so good. Like, well done for you, man. Like, what a fucking quality costume. And then his missus went as his pimp, wasn't it? It was when it was his pimp.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And it looks like you had a fucking laugh. I'll tell you that much.
He's a braver man than me, man. I would not
Yeah.
be dressed in that skimpily.
No. Do not change, man. Do not ever
Yeah.
change. That's fucking quality. Um, I couldn't believe it when they came through. Like, I
when
knew he
you
would send them in. I knew he
when
would.
you said check the emails, I was like, oh, I'll have a look. And I was like standing in the fucking queue for the coffee machine. And then like, obviously you just see loads of skin in it. And then someone was like, what are you looking at? And I showed them. I was like, what kind of fucking porn are you looking at?
I was on my laptop when it opened
Mm,
up, so I got like
full
fucking
spread.
widescreen. Yeah. So I didn't even know what was coming on. I was like, oh, it's him again. So I clicked on it. It was like, boom, there he is. Fucking brilliant. I think I said before, like, I've never been a big fancy dress person. I don't know. I don't know why people enjoy it. I suppose that's why I'm not an
Yeah.
actor.
I think for me, I did it once for my dad's 60th, didn't I? Dressed as Ozzy. I don't remember another time.
Did you
Some
get Did you
people, some people are
get a good
really into
feeling
it.
from it? Like, did it make you feel empowered, Jamie?
What, being Ozzy Osbourne?
Being dressed up as someone else, yeah.
What I got from it was, well, I did more Randy Savage fucking impressions than Ozzy Osbourne most of the night. But wearing a wig is the worst thing in the world.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying about it.
Yeah, it's one of the worst things in the world. Like if anyone ever goes for any fancy dress, just be careful what you pick for your thing because the wigs are not brilliant.
Do you think it's some sort of like almost like a catfishing thing. Like you get to pretend that you're someone else or like impersonate someone else for the night.
Some couples, that's a kink, innit? They'll like turn up at a bar dressed as someone else.
Oh, I couldn't do that, man. That would make me fucking. I'd give
Talking of
up.
fancy dress, have you ever seen that? It's pretty viral in the UK. I don't know if it's made it to the US, but there's like three guys getting arrested at a fucking at a train station. Yeah, and this guy's dressed in a yellow t-shirt and yellow bandana, and he's got like the angle bar mustache, like fucking Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other guys are dressed normally in it, yeah? And the policeman radios in and he goes, "One man in fancy dress as Hulk Hogan. That's just the guy's normal clothes." So they start fucking cracking up laughing. He's like, "I'm not in fucking fancy dress."
I haven't even seen that. I'll have to look it up now. Well, we've now that you spoke to it, it'll come up on my phone anyway, naturally.
Oh yeah, it'll be on your next video on fucking TikTok.
You saying about handlebar mustache? Did you? I'm probably the last person to know this, and everyone's going to be like, "Yeah, that happened ages ago." You remember Orange County Choppers? Did you know that the senior is disabled?
Well, he was old as shit 10 years
No,
ago.
he was in a bike accident. He can't walk anymore.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh, thank fuck you didn't know that. I was on TikTok and I was scrolling through, and there was what was his name? Something Senior. Paul Senior.
Paul Senior, yeah.
And he's in a wheelchair, and they've made him a special bike where he rolls up onto like a platform and it locks in, and then it's
Shit.
got like wheels and shit, and he can like ride a bike. But yeah, he had like a bike accident, and fucking now he can't walk.
That's fucked, man. I remember it must have been just a year before COVID. They tried to come back, didn't they? On a
Well,
TV
his
on a
son
show.
left and started his own one, didn't he?
Yeah, and then
'Cause
like
had a big
they were
argument.
still running separately, but they tried to come back and they kept talking about the recession, how the recession has affected them, but basically just ran out of steam because they were going for like 10 series, weren't they?
No, I kept saying to people today, I'm like, do you remember Orange County Choppers? And they're like, no. I'm like, how old am I right now? That no one knows what that fucking show is.
Well, it was American Choppers, isn't it? Over here. It
Is
wasn't
that what it
Orange
was
County.
called?
Yeah, the shop's called Orange County Choppers,
Oh,
but the show's called American Choppers.
either way, no one. When I explained to them, they still didn't know what I was talking
I
about.
wonder if that's on a streaming service. That would be a good thing to binge.
Oh, it's a fucking quality show. But yeah, I was laughing because I was like, so he goes up onto this platform and it locks in,
Mm.
and then he's like, "What's this button?" And he presses it, and they're like, "Oh, that's the one to," and he rolls back off. I'm like, how fucking funny would it be? He's going 120 down the fucking freeway,
Oh, he
and
just
he
comes
accidentally
off.
hits the button, and the bike keeps going, and he rolls backwards.
like a scene out of Snowpiercer.
I was like, I still got to work. I was like, at least he's not running. He's still got wheels. He gets to start fucking
just
steering.
the wheels start disintegrated.
But yeah, I couldn't believe that, man. Like, what a fucking that's
bad.
balmy.
He must be in his 80s now, surely. He was like in his 60s back then. He was always roided up, wasn't he?
75 years.
75 is younger than I thought.
But
Yeah, they tried to come back and they kept talking about the recession. And then, like, the other brother, there was two sons, weren't there? There was another brother called Mickey. And I think Mickey became like a drug addict. So he was like gone clean.
he was
So
funny.
He used to be funny, but he was really boring now because obviously he's clean. He's clean. And then Paul Jr. just kept talking about how the recession's affected them and all this shit. But it's just because them type of shows went out of fashion.
Yeah.
So then no one,
yeah.
because they used to get all the celebrities coming in, and now they don't get no one, isn't it? So then they had two shops. They ended up going back together, and it was like a whole thing. But it never was the same, innit? So I only watched like 4 episodes of the new series and then didn't bother.
Yeah, no, I stopped watching. Once they had that big argument and his son split off and started his own thing, I'm like, this is because it just
Boring.
became fucking family tragedy. Then it's just sort of like, I'm not fucking speaking to him. Well, I'm not fucking speaking. I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm done now.
When they're like throwing the furniture at each other, it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, just fucking crazy. But anyway, yeah, thanks for the photos. We do appreciate him. And it was good to see you have a good time. Right. Oh, it's the big man. We haven't heard from this guy in a long time. So he says, I've been going back and forth from Dubai with the project I'm on, but the family has decided to stay home now. So I'm doing a lot of solo traveling. Do you guys have any recommendations for 7 hour plane trips to help me keep occupied? As I've just about watched everything all on the flight entertainment.
Well, he's been doing well to stick to only flight entertainment. Like, I do it on the first time I'm on a plane.
Yeah, I
I'll
don't even
download it.
fucking look at it.
Very rare. I would look on it and see if there's anything that's come out, but I've seen everything normally.
Mm. Unless you like, when I went to like Canada and stuff like that, they normally get quite good films. Like I was quite surprised with the selection they had then. But
Mm.
once I flew back, I'd watched it all.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
That's like one
When I
flight.
flew with Emirates tend to get early releases.
Mm.
So when I went out on the way out there, I was like, that was to Dubai, I think, and that I literally watched everything on there. And then by the time I was coming back, I had nothing to watch, and I was playing fucking chess for fucking 7 hours, which was very fucking time consuming.
Have you seen that video on TikTok with the guy that sat behind the other guy on the plane and they're playing? You can play like a quiz game
Oh
with like
yeah,
the other passengers, and he can see the guy. So like the guy's putting in his answers and the other guy's answering it correctly, and he's like looking around trying to see who he's playing with.
yeah. Like he's fucking Rain Man or something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it cracked me up. I was like, I've watched it fucking hundreds of times. It's brilliant. Saying that, I was on Amazon Prime today, and they've added some quality fucking series on there.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Um, like old style stuff as well, like all the seasons of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Do you remember that?
Mm.
Fucking love that show, man. That was so fucking funny.
They've got
And then
Containium on there, which I'm really enjoying at the minute. That's a good show. And then the Paramount Plus stuff is really good.
I was going to get Paramount Plus again because when I first got it, it was absolute garbage, but it's been out a while now.
Yeah, there's some real good stuff on there. There's Kings of there's Tulsa King. There's Mayor of Kingstown. There's obviously that cowboy program that everyone loves. I can't remember what it's called.
Yellowstone.
Um, Yellowstone. Yeah. There's loads of stuff on there, man. Like I've literally spent most time. Very rarely am I on Netflix now. But if you are a regular flyer and it's going to be 7 hour flights each way regularly, I would recommend like investing in something like a Nintendo Switch or something, and like playing a bit of some games on there. Get yourself like Zelda or something, and just play some fucking games because films and TV can only get you so far. I think you need a little bit of interaction as well.
Unless you're watching 90 Days. There's
90
enough of
Days can
that to
take
keep
over
you
your life,
fucking.
yeah.
It has done. We don't watch anything else. Yeah, I agree. But some people aren't game orientated. But like, I play my mind garbage. So like, I could sit for an hour like chopping down trees.
Mm.
That's a sort of like I play survival games. It's just sort of like, I just
Mate,
do
I'm doing the
nothing.
exact same now. I'm back on the arc hype. I'm fucking out here making islands and shit. I'm doing all kinds of bullshit going on.
But it's stuff like that because sometimes I don't want to fucking think. I just want to do something that's completely and utterly pointless. But I'm relaxing and I'm chilled. You know what I mean? I don't have to.
And
I'm
you've got Wi-Fi
de-stressing.
on these long haul flights as well, so you're not restricted.
No. So I mean, yeah, like stuff like that's pretty good. But I mean, I would just get like a TV show, one that's like fucking like seasons of seasons, and just like download that and fucking cram it
Yeah.
in.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But I hate flights. I get really bad pains in my knees now when I fly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, like it's doing my nutting. I don't know if it's because I don't stretch or something like that, but like it's so fucking uncomfortable.
I tell you what, the last flight I had from Czech, flying British Airways is fucking light and day compared to other fucking. I didn't. It's the first time I've flown with them since I was a kid,
Mm.
and like it's same. It's the same plane. It's an A320, but like the seats are more spacious. The staff are nicer. They give you a little biscuit. They give you some water. I'm on a 2 hour flight. They're acting as though I'm on like a fucking 8 hour flight, giving us all this free shit. And then like when I asked for vodka and coke, there's like different vodkas and different cokes and shit. Like it was just the service was like much better. Do you know what I mean? And
I just
then
feel
like
like
because it was so
yeah.
foggy, they were like "Oh, can everyone turn their phones off because we'll have to do an automated landing?" And I'm fucking because I'm not brilliant at landings, and I was just thinking, shit, yeah,
What's an automated landing?
doing an autopilot.
Oh.
So if it's too foggy for they fully explained it all, which you wouldn't get in EasyJet. You just fucking fly
But
into the
if they
floor
could do an automated landing, why don't they just do it in general?
because you can't have any devices on at all on the plane. So they do it out of convenience for people, and obviously the pilots need to practice landing. So if they stop landing, then when something actually happens, they're going to forget how to fucking land the plane. So he goes, we have to put an automated thing on. So they come around, make sure they actually come around and ask to look at your devices to make sure it's all turned off. And then the plane just goes super rigid. Like, do you know when you're normally coming in for landing, you can tell when they've taken control because the fucking
Yeah.
plane's all over the shop. Yeah. No, this was like so rigid, and you're coming literally down, and like you can't see out the windows because there's so much fog, which is why they obviously had to do it. And then when we land, it was like smooth as a fucking baby's ass, and it was like literally as smooth as anything. I was thinking the last 3, 4 flights I've been on have been awful landings, and I was thinking this is the difference. This is the difference. And it was
The world
cheaper
of
than a
AI.
fucking EasyJet as well, so it's not even more
Oh,
expensive.
we always go with Ryanair. I think that's
Oh
because we're in
dear,
Scotland. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. When we were coming back, you know, when you walk in and you're looking at everyone that's waiting to get on your flight, and there's
Mm,
that one crackhead, and you're like, oh, like that, he's gonna be near me. I know he's gonna.
mm.
Yeah, we get on the flight, and then here comes the fucking crackhead. He looked like if Mick Jagger was on like 50 years of heroin, and he sat right in front of us. I'm
Which
like,
Mick Jagger already looks like, but worse.
yeah, his hair was all like thing. He looked like he'd like been rolling cigarette butts. I'm like, fuck's sake, on our fucking flight, fucking cunts. Um,
Charlotte had two people next to her who were wearing full blown puffer jackets. Yeah, so these two were already big people. So obviously, me and Charlotte are big people anyway. So we always are courteous. We put ourselves in the aisle so then we can lean out so we're not spilling into people's fucking areas. Yeah.
yeah,
This person, the two people that are sitting on the inside of Charlotte are fucking massive, yeah, and they're wearing puffer jackets, like full blown, like do you know, like the sleeping bag jackets,
yeah,
and they didn't take him off for the whole flight, so they're sitting like that, yeah, and then they lean over. The girl leans over uh the tray of the boy that's next to Charlotte and just like lays her head on it on his tray. So then he because obviously she's so fucking big. 'Cause she's like, I'm not being fun. I'm a fat person, so I can say that she was fat. She was fat as fuck, yeah. And she was like leaning right over, yeah. And I was thinking, what is this guy going to do? Because he can't. They're both wearing massive coats as well. And then he's like leaning on Charlotte, and I was looking over at Charlotte, and I was like, "Are you right?" And she was like, "Yeah." And then like he's mad dogging me because I'm asking, yeah. And I was like looking at him, thinking, "Fuck you, brother! I'll fight you on this plane right now, yeah."
Jesus
And then
Christ.
I thought they were weird as fuck. They didn't speak the entire flight. They just sat there in their puffer jackets with their hoods up, as though they were like hiding their identities. And then when the little woman come over asking what drink she wanted and whatever, he was like, "Can I have a can of Coke and can I have a packet of salt?" And then he gave her the can of Coke, and she poured the sachet of salt into the can of Coke and drank it like that. And I thought, that's it, I'm done with these people. And I was just looking at them thinking, fuck you, fucking weirdos, man. And then I was in the toilet afterwards. You know, like, obviously everyone runs to the toilet when you get off the plane.
Yeah,
I turned around and he's standing there, full puffer jacket, everything, hood up, looking at me with sunglasses on.
he
And I'm
must have been
thinking,
sweating his bollocks off.
mate, on a plane, it'd be so hot. I was wearing a
I
t-shirt and I
I
was sweating.
stick that fan on as soon as he got on the plane and
You
stick
have
it on my
to.
face. Yeah,
That
some people are
geezer.
just fucking nut jobs.
And I'm like, they're so cheap because they've clearly they didn't want someone in their aisle in their row, so they were making sure it's like life difficult. But then they didn't pay for an extra seat for them, so they're just
Yeah,
like all over the place. And I was just like, oh, if I had to deal with them, I'll be elbowing people in the rib to get away from me.
I was watching a thing today that there was a flight. I don't know where it's come from. I don't know the massive details, but there was a kid on it that cried the entire way home. I think it was like an 8-hour flight or something.
Oh mate, I
And
would
like
have
the
went and
whole
took him into the
plane was
toilet
like
and broke his
tweet, yeah.
neck.
And apparently the mum was like, "Oh, sorry, he has behavioural issues." Apparently, he was like running up and down the aisles, like screaming and crying for like the whole flight. And this guy was like recording some of it. And I was like, "Someone get that fucking kid a Ritalin. Is it Ritalin? They give to kids to just fucking knock them out because like it's like ADHD. That's what they give you, isn't it?"
I can't remember what... something like that. Yeah, I would go into the bathroom with him, and I would pour 3 bottles of whiskey into his mouth, and then knock him on the top of the head, put him to sleep. Good night.
I'm sorry, but as soon as that plane's taken over, there ain't no rules. Now we're not on planet Earth, we're in the sky. So as soon as he runs down the fucking aisle, I'm clotheslining that little bitch. You know what I mean? Taking that hair right off.
Imagine that, like man taking off plane, flight lands early. Man taking off plane for clotheslining a 5-year-old, isn't it?
But this is the problem we got, right? She, instead of her like calming the kid down and stuff like that, she's like, "Oh, he has behavioural issues."
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
not acceptable.
and
That's not an acceptable answer. You don't just say that and then okay, that's fine. We won't say nothing.
yeah.
Yeah,
I would the amount of people that get taken off of flights for like being drunk and stuff like that. That family
it should be the same
should have
level.
been taken off the flight. Yeah.
Right, I need to go for a wee. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Do you know this scene from that Will Smith movie where he breaks the dog's neck?
I Am Legend.
Imagine that scene. That's me, and that's that child breaking the neck.
Like I said, as soon as the plane takes off, it's like fucking Mariner's Law, isn't it? When you're on a boat, like as soon as I'm in that fucking sky, that's it. We're technically in space. I tell you, I'll be the worst fucking. As soon as the apocalypse hits, man, I'm fucking done. Like rules are out the window.
Mate, as I said, we're bordering up fucking Scotland, so you can't come down here. That's what we're doing. I'll be like Trump at the wall, innit? I'll be like, they're not coming over the wall.
It's the same like when I can't say it. It's the same with like in horror movies and stuff like that. Like I hate it when the person's getting attacked, and then the person that's being attacked stabs the attacker, and then lets go of the weapon and runs away. It's like,
fucking infuriating.
It's not happening. I was like, if I'm stabbed someone, I'm making sure they're dead because I ain't going to prison because I've stabbed someone. I'm going to prison because I've killed someone. That's it. You know what I mean? It's fucking done.
Mate, I would cut the head off.
You got to make sure they're dead.
Person's dead. You got to make sure
that person's dead. It pisses me off so many times that in movies where they're like, "Oh," and then they let go and run away.
Or they hit him around the back of the head with a vase.
Yeah, and then they run away. No, you just keep fucking whacking them. Like, why would you just let them get... Like, no. It's not happening.
Mate.
If I stab someone, the coroner report would be like, body was found with 52 stab wounds, and the person was still stabbing when the police turned up. Damn fucking right I was.
There's a new show out called Sweet Pea that's got the girl from...
I wanted to watch that, I think.
What's it called?
The bug-eyed girl.
Yeah, from adaptation of the game. What's it called?
Oh, the Fallout.
Fallout, yeah. So she's from Fallout, yeah. Which I didn't realise until today, which was the last episode I watched. And she's like a murderous little fucker and like proper murder. She's like so killy, yeah. And I was like watching her go through her life and everyone's ignoring her and throwing their coat on her and stuff like that as though she's not even there. And I was like, this is how I feel sometimes. Am I a murderer? I'm sitting there thinking, why am I relating to a serial killer? Do you know what I mean?
Mate, I'm so close. I've come so close. I work with knives as well. Like, oh, the thoughts.
You'll be the next BTK, not BTK, Zodiac, because he worked in a meatpacking plant, didn't he?
Did you ever watch the film Frighteners? With Michael J. Fox?
Maybe.
Well, basically, it's about this ghost that comes back because he was like a serial killer and he was trying to make more numbers. But essentially, what happened with him is like he wanted to be like Ted Bundy, but he did it in a very short span where he went into hospital with a shotgun and just starts shooting people.
Oh, he was like a spree killer.
Yeah, that would be me. I don't care about the distance. I just about how many people I take with me. That's me at work. Just be fucking. I'll be a good like 3 or 4 Filipinos down before anyone notices. And I say that because next to me is that many, not because I'm singling them out, okay, or you woke people out there. That's just because the 3 people that are next to me are Filipino, and
They're
that's the
going to
direction I'm
cut that
going.
bit, and they're going to cut the bit you were talking about, the reduction people, and they're going to slice it together, and you're going to get arrested, Dan.
Hey, if I'm going in a direction, that's where I'm going. You know what I mean? It's just fact. I'm not making it up. It's fact. Fact is not racism. Don't care what they are. They're still getting killed. Anyway, that's enough emails.
All right. So on that note, remember to send in your content ideas, questions, and feedback for the show to twomennohope@gmail.com. I remember that you've got your Christmas gifts coming through. So over this next month, we expect to see some sales coming through, people. Come on now. Come on now. I'll see you on the next one, Dan.
See you later, dude.